In an era where major fight cards are scheduled every weekend, it can often be difficult for fighters to grab the attention of fans, mainly when competing in the most talent-rich divisions of the largest promotion in mixed martial arts. It is sometimes difficult to quantify the reasons why those that do capture the attention of the world manage to do so. While the reasons for Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey's respective stardoms were obvious, understanding why fighters like Dillon Danis and Paddy Pimblett, among others, dominate MMA news cycles and trend worldwide can be more of a mystery, especially when seemingly more deserving fighters are getting consistently overlooked in favor of them. Such is the case for longtime UFC Lightweight Drew Dober, a man with an amiable personality, chiseled good looks, and most importantly for many, a consistent ability to produce wildly entertaining fights. Born in Omaha, Nebraska in 1988, Dober began training Muay Thai aged 14 and enjoyed massive success, becoming a two-time amateur national champion. He also wrestled his junior and senior years at high school, and in time, gravitated towards training in mixed martial arts. After racking up a perfect 9-0 amateur record, his introduction to the world of professional MMA was tough, going 1-2 in his first 3 fights. Even here, though, Dober demonstrated his willingness to take tough fights, stopping 3-1 Frank Caraballo with strikes in his debut before losing decisions to a debuting Chase Hackett, who would later appear in the qualifying rounds for the Ultimate Fighter 15-4-0 Brandon Gertz. His fortunes soon began to improve, though, and he ran 8-1 between 2010 and 2012 on the regional scene. After dropping a unanimous decision to Will Brooks, a huge prospect who would later go on to defeat Michael Chandler for the Bellator Lightweight Championship, he then rattled off another 5 successive wins, and in doing so, earned the attention of the UFC. He was invited to appear on the Ultimate Fighter 15 alongside familiar names Al Iaquinta, Michael Chiesa, and James Krause. Dober was given a predictably tough assignment to start with, facing Darren Cruikshank in the qualifying round. While he lost the 1-round exhibition match via unanimous decision, his exciting style did enough to earn him a spot on the season finale. Despite dropping a decision to Sean Spencer, he again showed the UFC brass that he was a very game fighter with a very watchable style. And upon securing his place in the world's top MMA promotion, he continued to show that putting on good fights and growing as a fighter meant more to him than just wins and losses. Sitting at 0-2 in the UFC at a time where 3 straight losses almost automatically got you cut from the promotion, he took a fight against Jamie Varner, a man who had, by this point in his career, faced Donald Cowboy Cerrone, Benson Henderson, Edson Barboza, and many more household names. It goes without saying that many fighters would have waited for an easier opponent with their back so clearly against the wall. Dober not only accepted it, but stopped the former WEC champion via rear naked choke in just under 2 minutes. From here, he went 5-2-1 between 2015 and 2018, defeating the likes of Scott Holtzman, Josh Berkman, and Frank Camacho. A decision victory over John Tuck earned Dober a big fight, and another big test against another longtime divisional staple, Beneil Dariush. Drew gave the current 5th-ranked lightweight contender a tough first round on the feet, but eventually succumbed to a triangle armbar at the end of the 2nd round. Dober had done enough to show that he belonged with the division's finest, and his results began to display that. Vicious back-to-back stoppages of Marco Polo Reyes and Nasrat Haqparast set him up for a shot at the UFC lightweight rankings with a fight against number 15 Alexander Hernandez, a hot prospect with prior victories over common opponents Olivier Aubin-Mercier and Beneil Dariush. Many thought that Hernandez would be a stiff test for a man with 9 pro losses on his record. Dober showed how much that history matters in the present, overwhelming Hernandez with pressure and stopping him via strikes late in the 2nd round. Having successfully secured a ranking spot, Dober again displayed that anyone, anytime, anywhere mentality by taking a fight against a man that the rest of the division was avoiding, Islam Makhachev. The current lightweight champion was too much for him on the day, repeatedly securing takedowns en route to a 3rd-round arm triangle. But the experience of being in there with such a great opponent again seemed to propel Dober to new heights. He has since gone 3-1 with TKO victories over Terrence McKinney, Rafael Alves, and Bobby Green. He earned 2 Fight of the Night bonuses, 1 Performance of the Night bonus, and Sherdog's Round of the Year award for his barn burner with McKinney. The recent knockout of Bobby Green gained him a spot again in the rankings and tied him for Dustin Poirier's record for the most knockout TKO victories in the lightweight division at 8. And again, he used it as an opportunity to respectfully call out an opponent that most of his peers weren't interested in. Jalen Turner, the streaking 6'3" striking phenom who had just run through Brad Riddell in seconds. Whether or not Drew Dober does go on to trouble the upper echelons of the lightweight division is almost immaterial at this point, as is whether he manages to capture the attention of the general public. He certainly possesses the ability to, and fighters like Michael Bisping and Charles Oliveira have all shown that anything can happen in MMA. Dober has also shown obvious signs of an improving fight IQ in this recent run, finishing Alves with a brutal liver shot after some excellent headshots opened up the body, and catching Green with a huge left hand after pressuring him to the cage, where the wily veteran could no longer slide out of range. But even if he doesn't, Dober's legacy among hardcore MMA fans should be secure. Like divisional legends Jim Miller and Joe Lauzon before him, he has consistently demonstrated a never-say-die attitude, a willingness to take fights others are avoiding, and an uncanny ability to provide consistently fun fights regardless of the result. And if he continues to do so and finish his wins in such a convincing fashion, it's hard to envision the Nebraska native escaping the attention of the average fan for much longer.